parents asked me what I was going to be when I grew up. I competed in 13 Mr. Olympias. I was in the top 5 of 12 consecutive Olympias. Got 2 first-place runner-ups. While I never won the Mr. Olympia, I found satisfaction in the fact that in my entire career, there were 2 people that I competed on the stage with that I never beat. And between those 2 people, they have 14 Olympia titles, which is the spanning of my professional career. One of the greatest of all time, Lee Haney, won 8 Mr. Olympia championships. And the other guy only lost 1 time as a professional, and that was Dorian Yates. He won 6 Mr. Olympias. Ronnie Coleman came along in 1998 to go on to win 8 more. And when I saw him coming, that's when I realized, you know what, I've gone as far as I can because he's 275 pounds. They're not going to go down to a guy my size. I realize I'm only competing now just to compete. I don't have an opportunity to win. That's when I started changing my focus. I was 35 years old. I had a house, I had a condo, and I had a townhouse in Las Vegas. I had 3 cars and 2 motorcycles, and I came home to a dog. I desired more out of life, and that's when I said, I'm going to do this Mr. Olympia, I'm going to walk away. And walking away, I walked right into my wife. My wife was training at the gym. I seen her time and time again. She had a boyfriend, and I was in and out of relationships. And one day I caught her off guard and went to lunch. It just happened to be her birthday, and we started talking and we hit it off. A year later, I proposed to her. In 2003, I got married. And in 2005, I had my first daughter. And this was when I think, for me, life began. But I had to make sure that the business of bodybuilding didn't deteriorate. So I, of course, talked to Joe about my plans for potentially not competing. I was getting married, and I wanted to have a family, and I had his support. He had enough work for me to do for the Weider Enterprise that had kept me under contract. And I saw the winds of change coming in 2004. AMI came to buy Weider out. I'd been with Weider almost 17 years. And when AMI came to do that, they were changing personnel. And I fell into a very good opportunity to become a spokesperson for a vitamin company called Biotech Nutritionals. I created the Shawn Ray Classic out of that in Denver, Colorado. We gave away $70,000 prize money for 2 consecutive years. It was the number 3 show on the list behind the Olympia and the Arnold Classic. I created the Best Poser Award, and I gave out $10,000 for that to Kai Green. And also Phil Heath won that. I started writing for Muscle Mag International and Robert Kennedy for 2 years. From that, Steve Bleckman over at Muscular Development saw what I was doing. He knew that in the 90s I was a host of a workout show called Flex Magazine Workout with Boyer Coe. Everyone who's who was on that show, and we had a good run from 93, I believe, till like 97. It was on ESPN2, right behind the Body Shaping Show. So I started doing the play-by-plays on Muscular Development, and then I would do the interviews of the winners. I've got 2 daughters now. The picture is getting bigger. So I started getting into becoming a master of ceremonies. And so I was emceeing bodybuilding shows and doing the organizations of the muscle camps in South Africa and Ireland, Australia, Las Vegas, Miami, Florida. These were giving me platforms to continue educating and promoting my brand, which is Shawn Ray Productions. I'm now the spokesperson for the Smart Shake group. It's a shaker cup that they have coming out of Sweden. I'm helping them with their United States distribution. I work for a company called Oxygen for Energy, portable oxygen in a can that a lot of cyclists use, a lot of runners use. The way it's breaking into our industry is there's bodybuilders in the gym that do a heavy set of squats and lay out on the floor. Well, they don't need carbs, they don't need protein, they don't need water, they need air. You can take it to a bodybuilding show. You've seen the bodybuilders at contests. They come backstage and they're just winded and they're bent over at the waist because they're a lot bigger. They can't catch their air. This is the situation. They can just take a couple of puffs of oxygen and revitalize themselves, and they can train harder, faster, and recover sooner. I signed on with a supplement company called EST Nutrition. They needed an international voice as well. I'm connecting dots for them, getting their product in places that they're not already in, as well as bringing some credibility because I'm now back in the gym, I'm working out, I'm using their products. That's what they want, is some real testimony. And they also want to create new products. So with my years of experience dealing with carbohydrates and protein powders and glutamine and all these things, I'm bringing something to the table.